It had been 3 long years since the 3rd installment of the infamous NEKOPARA saga, and the people had spoken. We needed a new sequel. After years of anticipation, the gods of NEKOWORKS have finally given us their blessings with the release of NEKOPARA Vol.4.
Are you winning, son?
Oi mate, I'm trying to do a review here.
Oh sorry, I was wondering if you're done with my copy of NEKOPARA Vol.4.
I never borrowed your copy of NEKOPARA.
Oh yeah, I bought it on Steam. By the way, what do you think of the game?
Then why don't you join me and find out?
Player's perspective, y'all should check this. We review games, that's our objective.
Big PP, small PP, these people need thee. Should we get this game only with our guarantee? Check with us before your shopping spree.
Valued critique and criticism without any bias or favoritism. Hey yo, this PP ain't no micro. Without further ado, let's get into the show.
Greetings fellow viewers and welcome to the 3rd episode of Player's Perspective. This episode will be an exploration into the kawaii baking bakery bake-off of NEKOPARA Vol.4. Today I, Mr. Zefros, will be joined by the one and only AntiSight-chan to review this game.
Hello guys, Zulu.
We played the game on launch day on PC with the additional DLC, and we will be reviewing the story in a non-spoiler form. NEKOPARA Vol.4 is a game much like its predecessors, and a standout within the visual novel genre. This time around the game focuses more on our self-insert protagonist, Kasho Minaduki, a familiar character that we would have known from the previous titles. But unlike the previous installments of NEKOPARA, Vol.4 gives us a deep dive into Kasho's life story and motives rather than the cat girls themselves. Vol.4 gives us a story about family, trust, ego, and most certainly, cake. As we all would have known, Kasho is a pâtissier who runs a western cake shop called La Soleil in Japan. He is accompanied by his 6 cat girls who help around the shop.
Simply saying, I came here to watch a plot isn't exactly an excuse for a cheeky wank, you perv. The plot for NEKOPARA Vol.4 in my opinion is cheap and was a real giveaway, but a great development for Kasho. The game isn't exactly meant to be VN with a deep plot and storyline, since I feel like most of the budget went to the H scenes.
I disagree. I feel like Vol.4 offers a new perspective in the NEKOPARA series. In the tradition of the previous games, we have a grand conflict that beriddles our main characters. In contrast to Vol.1 to 3, Kasho gets the spotlight this time around, as it was mentioned by Mr. AntiSight. I feel like this was an interesting decision and an interesting twist that brings a breath of fresh air to the franchise. Kasho opened up an old wound after his father refused to eat any of his cakes. Kasho is then desperate to figure out what baking truly means to him in order to obtain the approval of his father. We get to experience and witness Kasho's past, which has been mostly kept secret from players all this time. We also got to experience a more personal and deeper look at the relationship between Kasho and his sister Shigure, which gave players more insight. In between important plot points, we are also greeted by fan service scenes, which are arguably the whole selling point of these games. But I won't discredit the writing.
These H scenes are a huge upgrade from the previous games.
In these scenes, we have a roulette of Kasho's 6 cat companions being up close and personal with Kasho. The girls are split into pairs for most of the scenes as per usual, except for the last Christmas scene, where they are all together.
The game clearly shows the development of 6 main cat girls in both their day-to-day lives and their H scenes. becoming more comfortable and lewd. The cat girls appear to be more confident, so it's definitely a good watch. The climax point of the H-scenes are well presented. The way the hips move for Kasho and the cat girls' reactions look very pleasing.
Like the previous volumes, we are to download an adult DLC to have the full NEKOPARA experience, giving players the choice for a more family-friendly option. The game implements the DLC in a subtle way by prompting a choice of there's people around you or there's no one around you every time a potential fan service scene comes up.
This is a great feature as it allows you to start an H-scene during class to achieve peak Mad Lad rank.
Although a particular complaint of these scenes would be the welcome of a fan service scene right when you start off the game. This may not be so jarring if you play the game with no DLC, but the first scene was not a welcomed surprise in my playthrough. I felt that having a fan service scene the moment you start off the game was a bit unsettling, as it gave me no time to reconnect to the story and characters of NEKOPARA. It was a missed opportunity to have a better introduction. Despite my complaint, I am sure many NEKOPARA players will be fine with the implementation of this scene.
I was one of these players who enjoyed the opening H-scene, which you can skip. It did a great job of showing off the new animations, making it more realistic.
Visual-wise, Volume 4 is as beautiful as the previous titles, with animated and lively characters accompanied by wonderful still image illustrations for specific event scenes.
Compared to the previous titles, the shop looks now more like the one displayed in the anime, though the anime isn't canon and just a spin-off.
Fan service scenes were particularly done well, with animated expressions and intimate illustrations. High quality, to say the least.
As the usual games, you have the chest slider, which should always be at full for maximum effect. The animations remain the same or similar, however the H-scenes animation mentioned above has had the upgrade.
To complement Volume 4's visuals, we have the superb voice acting of the NEKOPARA cast. Each character is portrayed lovingly with their own quirks and personalities. As for my final verdict, I think that NEKOPARA Volume 4 was an enjoyable experience and a definite must-play if you are an avid NEKOPARA fan. This new story on Kasho is a welcomed addition which further deepens his connection with the cat girls and his family.
I'd recommend this VN easy. It's wholesome and cute, and what I believe to be the solution to cure depression.
With all of this being said, I, Zefros, on the behalf of the Unholy Trinity, am feeling a light 8 on this one. Thanks again for watching today's episode of Player's Perspective, and thank you Mr. AntiSight for providing your insightful opinion on today's review.
You're welcome, thanks for having me, Uwu. What am I doing with my life?
Please leave a like, comment, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Ring that notification bell and let us know what else you would like us to review next. See you on the next video. Toodles.